my video today. I have another one of my videos that I do with Pip Todman from the UK, where we dive into a suite of product and we share with you a lot of ideas. So I've gone rogue once again. I don't know, Pip might get mad at me this time. She might be like, lady, what is your problem? But I totally went rogue again because I did not have the stamp set that goes with this suite. So this is the Abigail Rose designer paper, and I used this. I'm gonna show you two projects. One is a really awesome, I don't even know what to call it. You're just gonna have to see it. And then there's a scrapbook page. So I did not have the stamp set that goes with this. So what I did is I just pulled out one of my favorites from the holiday catalog that I'm really actually enjoying using. And it worked for both of this really fancy card I'm gonna show you and my scrapbook page. So it is the Celebrate with Tag bundle. I did not use the tags, but I did use the dies and the stamp set. Sneak peek, or not really sneak peek because I've already released it. This is one of the bundles that Pip and I are using in our paper party retreat. So what we do here is we take a suite of product and we show you a bunch of ideas with it. And I love these because you can really get a sense of like all the different things you can make. And I'll stick a card up here of last month's when we used the Hues of Happiness suite of product, and that was so much fun. So I love this paper. I ended up not getting the stamp set because one of the things that I just don't really care for are floral stamps, and I don't do a lot of things with floral. I don't make a lot of floral cards or projects. I do really like the stamp set, and it was on my list of maybes to get when the annual catalog came out. I ended up not getting it just because I chose other things, right? Like that's a choice we all have to make. Obviously, like you have to pick what you love the most and get that. And honestly, I have shared in the last couple weeks that I have been struggling a little bit with a bit with anxiety and feeling really burnt out with my job with Stampin' Up. And some of it I think comes from me getting too much product, getting everything, and then feeling overwhelmed. Sometimes I have to get things because I'm part of projects like this with Pip and I, and then what happens is I get a little burnt out. I get where I don't want to create. So I'm trying to fix that by not purchasing stuff that I don't really love. So the stamp set didn't make it in. So I improvised a little bit, used a different bundle, but let me show you the items that I made. And I am so ecstatic about these items. They are so much fun. So I'm gonna save the scrapbook page till last because I cannot wait to show you this card. And this turned out to be so fun. Now, I'm gonna show you all the pieces. We're not gonna recreate this whole card, but I'm gonna show you all of the layers because I think visually it makes a little bit more sense when you can see it. I saw this idea on Instagram. In the YouTube description and on my website, I will link to the Instagram account I saw this. There's not a tutorial for it that I followed. I just figured out by watching the little clip how to do it. On my website, in the YouTube description, I will have a tutorial project sheet for you showing you how to create this. So let's get started and let me show you. So you untie it here, and then it opens up. So here's the first one, opens up. The second one, that opens up. The third one, that opens up. And then all of these have pockets. So the first one has a pocket. All of these are pockets, and you pull it out. It says, "Let's celebrate you." And then I did the heart, and then I cut out from the pattern paper this floral image, and I colored it with my blends. So that was the other thing, is really using the pattern paper. I was just gonna end up making a bunch of cards that I had made with the Hues of Happiness, and you saw all of those cards. I did like 12 of them using the pattern paper and cutting them out and using a stamp set. And I really didn't want to bring you a video where I was just doing the same thing as I did last month. month I really wanted to showcase something different. So that's why I decided to do this card here. And while it's just 2 projects, and I'm sure Pip will have many more, I hope that you enjoy these 2 projects and how I put them together. So then in this pocket here, you pull it out, and one of these pockets would be great for a gift card. You could totally do that. Probably this one would be perfect for a gift card. And then on this side, it opens up here, and then you have this tag here, which I used the designer paper and added a piece. You could write a message. You could write a message on the back. There's so much more that you could do with this. You could also make this a little mini album and have like photos in it, or like as a little maybe summer scrapbook, or spring, like not necessarily scrapbook, but like little scrapbook project, memory keeping project. You could do a day in the life. If you do day in the life, you could totally do like a day in the life using this. So let me show you, just because I am a visual person, it took me about an hour to figure out the dimensions and how to do this and how to get them put together. And I want to walk you through that so that it's a little bit easier for you if you want to follow this. And then all of the measurements will be on my website in a project sheet that you can print out and follow. So the first thing that you're going to do is cut a piece of pattern paper. Mine here is this first layer, and this is a 5-inch, and then you're going to cut it at 10, and I would do 10 and a half. I did 10 and a quarter. So what I did is 5 inches by 10 and a quarter, but again, I would do 10 and a half, and you'll see why in a minute. So do 10 and a half. You're gonna score it at 5 inches and then 10 inches. And what you're going to end up with is a 5 by 5 base, so that's your first pocket, and then you're gonna have a little bit on the end here. And the reason I would do 10 and a half is I would make this, it's a little bit easier with adhesive if this lip is a little bit larger. So the next thing you're gonna do is you're going to put adhesive here, and I used tear and tape, but for this video, I'm just gonna go ahead and use regular liquid glue. I used tear and tape so that it would be a little bit more sturdy. So you're gonna want adhesive on the bottom, and then you're going to want adhesive on this flap. Again, if you have a 1/4 inch instead of an 1/8 of an inch, it's gonna be a little bit easier, or a 1/2 inch, I'm sorry. So then what you're going to do is press this flap down, and you want the adhesive on the flap and on the inside. Again, with tear and tape, it's gonna stick right away. You're not gonna have to wait or hold that down. This way, when you open it up, that piece is glued down, and your piece that you put in, it will slide right in. There won't be anything that catches, and then it gives you a nice, on the back here. So there is going to be some stuff on the back, and I'm going to show you how to cover that up if you want, but this gives you your pockets, each of your pockets, it gives you a nice clean pocket. Okay, so that's your first one at 5 by 5, so that's a 5 by 5 square. So I picked a piece of pattern paper for my first pocket. My second pocket, I decided to do cardstock, and see, this one has the larger flap, and you can see that it's going to be a little bit easier to add adhesive to that. So my second pocket is 4 by 4. With each of these pockets, what I did is I just sort of folded in half and pinched. You can measure with a ruler or on your trimmer for the halfway mark. And then on each of my pockets, I just used a circle punch, and I punched out that circle piece. So I did the same thing with my next pocket, which is going to be 4 by 4, and then we're going to put it together right here on the edge. and you're gonna do the same thing. The next pocket is 3 by 3. So again, you're just going to adhere your pockets, punch your circles, and then you're going to layer it, right? And then your last pocket is 2 by 2. And you do the same thing. And then what you're gonna have is you're gonna have 4 pockets layered on each other, right? So now, how I got the ribbon on here is I put the ribbon under the heart that I put on here, okay? So you'll do the ribbon part or the twine part last. Okay, so now for how you're going to attach these. So I'm just gonna close these with a little bit of adhesive. We're gonna pretend that's a pocket. We'll have our circle in here. Okay, so now how to attach this pocket to our next pocket. What you're gonna do is you are gonna take vellum, and you are going to need a 4-inch piece, a 3-inch piece, and a 2-inch piece. And then I like mine at 1.5 inches wide. And that just gives me enough room to work with folding it. You could make it thinner if you wanted. Whenever I make hinges like this for anything, I tend to do 1.5. So this is vellum. Stampin' Up's vellum is really very sturdy. So the first piece that you're going to do, okay, the first adhesive you're going to do is going to be on the outside flap. And then what you're going to do is attach that to your pocket. Now I like to take my bone folder and go ahead and just give that a nice crease. Again, on all of mine, I used tear and tape. Now you can see it on here, but it doesn't matter because we'll decorate this later. For the second piece, you're going to do it on the inside. So now you have this piece and you have this accordion, this hinge piece, and it looks like this, okay? You're going to open this up and you're going to put adhesive on the inside. This is where it can go wrong. If you don't put the adhesive on the right side of your hinge, things will get messy. So now what you're going to do is wherever you want this, and I don't put mine right on the edge. I give it like just a sliver so that it can open up properly, okay? And then you're gonna do this for each one. Now, when you decorate, you will see that the vellum is gonna be covered because you're gonna decorate. For the back, so you can see the vellum here on the back. For the back, what I did is I just took, so this is a 5 by 5 square. I took another piece of pattern paper, the same pattern paper that I used for the first pocket, and I just cut it at 4 3/4 by 4 3/4, and then I used this as a back panel, and I also, you can see that the twine is covered. So the very last step that I did is put this piece of pattern paper over this, because once you get all of your pockets, so all of the pockets, this hinge is under this pattern paper, and then it is on this pocket, but you could put this one under this one. There's lots of creative ways you can use to hide the vellum. I was not so worried about the vellum showing. I think that vellum is easy. Like, you can't really tell that the vellum is right there on that one. I have the circle. You could do another piece of pattern paper. You could do another cardstock, depending on how you decorate each pocket on the outside will determine how you can hide that vellum. So each pocket then is attached, and then what I did is when I added this heart, I added the twine under the heart on the back of here, and then it ties right here. This gives you a little piece down here in this corner because it's, you know, a little bit plain because all the decoration kind of falls to this side. So by adding that bow right there, it adds a little something there. I used twine because it was the closest to the ribbon choice in that suite of product, but you could use any other kind of twine. So then in each pocket, it has a little piece that pulls out, and then the big pocket at the back pulls out as well. I rounded the corners of this one and this one, and then these two here, this middle pocket and then the final pocket have designer paper and they're not rounded. And then you will notice that I did like on here, I did Bermuda Bay, Bermuda Bay, Bermuda Bay. And then there's mint macaroon in the middle, and then there's pattern paper, pattern paper. So I just alternated what I was using to create this card. So again, I will have an instruction sheet and you can print that out. I will type out all the instructions for this one along with all of the measurements and supplies that you need. So the last project that I did, the only other project that I did for this this video with Pip, did a scrapbook page. So this is just a really very easy memory keeping page that you can put together. I started with a piece of crumb cake cardstock at 12 by 12, and that is my first layer. I used 2 pieces of early espresso cardstock, and I cut those at 5 by 3/4 by 5 3/4, and then I did the same with the petal pink. So the first layer down are these squares that are 5 3/4 by 5 3/4. I did a pink one here and a pink one here, and then a brown one and a brown one. The next thing I did is I cut pattern paper at 5 1/2 by 5 1/2. I did 2 pink stripes here, and then I did the brown early espresso floral pieces on that layer. So you just layer those together and you add them. That's your base. You can do this with any designer paper. It is the best, easiest layout that you can put together. I did 2 photo mats, and I will add photos here. These are 4 by 6, and then I did happy birthday, and then some of the hearts, and that completed my layout. So it was so simple. So thank you so much for hanging out with me with my video today. You're gonna wanna go right over to Pip's video. I will leave a link in the comments. Also in the description will be her YouTube channel and her website. If you're on my website, then all of that is in the blog post you are currently reading, and you will want to go over and check out all of the projects that she made using the Abigail Rose suite of product. And then I'm gonna jump over and see all of her projects, and then hopefully she'll take it easy on me that I only made 2 projects for this video. We will be back next month with what we like to refer to as our suite of possibilities, all the possibilities that you can create with just one suite of product. So thank you so much for hanging out with me today, and I will be back with another project soon for you guys. Have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for checking out my video today. I hope you will like this video and subscribe to my channel. Here on the screen are 2 other videos that I have recently put together. I hope that you will check those out, and I hope you're having a wonderful day.